¿Qué está haciendo internet? It's your boy, Wülf Boi, the boy of the wolves. I don't know when this video is coming out. I don't know if it's coming out today, the day that I'm filming it, or if it's coming out next week. I've completely lost track of my life. But I do know what the subject matter of this video is going to be. I'm going to be finally doing a pseudo review of SXK Wisdom's new album, newish, it's been a while, I've been putting this off, Nightmare on Mainstream. You'll notice that the format is a little bit different from my normal reviews. Because I've been putting this off for so long, I've decided that the best thing to do is to get something out for this album quickly, because I promised Wisdom that I would review it, but like I said, it's been a long time. I've been putting it off. I haven't had as much free time as I thought I would to make videos, so instead I am going to just do a quick and dirty reaction video. I have the playlist loaded up right here. Let's just get right into it. Spooky.
Yeah.
Appropriate for Halloween.
Hey. Like a time bomb, am I saying kind of song? All this shit make me dumb. So drunk, so fucking wrong. Erase it, fucking learn.
This beat goes fucking hard. Nighttime. I gotta look this producer up. This is fucking dope. There's the lyrics in here. I'm gonna keep listening, but I'm also gonna listen to the lyrics. Read the lyrics. Sorry, I got a text and I was looking at that and yeah. Can you tell it's the morning? I think the flow on this is very catchy, first of all. Wisdom's delivery. In case you don't know, SXK Wisdom used to be Kenshi Raiden. And I have reviewed his stuff on my Joe Mellon channel before. And one thing that Kenshi has always had is, standout, kind of delivery. There's some moments where he, has a little bit of trouble, pronouncing some consonants. But that part of delivery aside, the way he, uses the pitch of his vocals, going really low and growly, I've always thought that was pretty interesting, and it matches his whole aesthetic. There's definitely some horrorcore influence. Yeah, the rest of this is just the beat. This beat goes dumb hard though, what the fuck. And then 3 seconds of silence at the end. Woo. Let's look at these lyrics. Blow up like a time bomb, am I insane? Kinda some. All this shit make me dumb. So dunk on some rum. Do you refer to drinking rum as dunking on it? I'm really dunking on this coffee right now. Yeah, it's very horrorcore. Like I said, some lines like dunk on some rum, it's okay, this is a little bit just kind of filler. I think Wisdom's, core appeal from what I have seen is definitely been sonic. It's been the sound of his voice, his beats, and in theory his flow. Now this is a great improvement over what I remember hearing from the old Kenshi Raiden, the album that I reviewed before this. I think that with the improvement of the flow, how catchy this is definitely gonna be a huge step up. This is way more enjoyable to listen to, as opposed to when it was okay, he had the delivery, but he wasn't able to rap on time. So yeah, I guess overall this is definitely a huge improvement. Let's see what the next track has in store. I remember Shiloh. I think XXXTentacion was alive when this song came out. This is May 14th, 2018. When did he die? June 18th. Wait. Yeah. 1 month, almost exactly, later. So this isn't in poor taste. This was made back when it was okay to sample Shiloh. Although then again, Young Thug also has a Shiloh sample in his new EP. I think it's a Shiloh sample. It sounds like a Shiloh sample. So maybe it is fair game to sample Shiloh, and people won't accuse you of disrespecting X, like, oh, you're biting his style after he's dead. These are the things I think about. I don't know. Oh, there's some backwards vocals in this. I gotta reverse this and see what he's saying.
Lucifer style, bitch. Sick as MC and motherfucking NC. My lips are weird and motherfucking creepy. We got your more cars, eat prick with motherfucking razor teeth. This is why mainstream is motherfucking dang weak. They is just the wickedest link. Talk about you going to the story, me getting the lunch.
He was on, and he kind of went off. He was on, and now he's not on. What I mean is, the flow in the beginning was like, okay, this is like, he's really spitting. But then he got to some parts where it was like, now the problem is he hasn't posted the lyrics in the description of this, so I can't say which part he's messing up on because I don't know what the lyrics are that he's saying.
Gonna take you in the heartbeat, Earl Honey, I guess that I'm gonna give me a root to the movie. The limited fact that eight.
The reversed vocals, though, like, I really did not expect this dark of a beat when the intro was this soft Shiloh sample. Except for the parts where he messed up with the flow a little bit. This is like, he's matching that vibe.
Texas madness disappear like smoke more than comeback as I am a hawk and I kill rats. So something like a motherfucking damn bat. These mainstream rappers sound like they kiss pop, then they shot myself with that motherfucking cop, then I did something in my heart.
The Travis Scott pitched down vocal layered with your normal vocals. It's fucking fire. More people should do this. But not too many, because then it'll become stale. But enough people should do this that it becomes cool again, because days before rodeo era Travis Scott shit.
Heart fucking damn stop, then I shot myself with damn gon' pretty walk again. Stab myself with a pen. Yeah, strange with the pain, with the strange. I stab that nigga motherfucker that gon' pain.
I stabbed myself with a pen. Yeah. Again, I'm not judging this too harshly on the lyrics because I think that really Wisdom is trying to go for the like aesthetic and the vibe. But that being said, even if you are a rapper who does not focus on lyrics, like even if you are a mumble rapper like Lil Pump or Young Thug, you still have to understand that even if your lyrics are not the focus, they can't be so bad that they stand out. When you have a moment like that where it's like, you say something like stab myself with a pen, and then you just have like a 5-second long pause, it stands out. It's a little weird. People are gonna notice that. And another lyrical thing that I noticed is a lot of filler words. I think I pointed this out in my review of the last thing, but a lot of motherfucker, motherfucking, goddamn, and the quintessential Wisdom ad-lib of motherfucking goddamn, just combine the two.
Pain with the strange, with the strange. Stab that nigga with the motherfucking pain. Pain with the strange, just something for my brain. Stab that nigga in the fucking pain.
There's that Shiloh sample in the background. Now it sounds fucking spooky as shit. That beat really fucking made that track. That was scary as shit. So this beat is definitely a huge change up from the last two, where it was super fucking spooky and Halloweeny, and this is like, I mean, you could say this is kind of spooky in a like Scooby-Doo kind of way. So far, like, he hasn't been doing anything that I would say is like, oh, that's an obvious like faux pas with the flow or anything. So that's good. The like he'll spit like a short bit and then have a sample. That's interesting. I think I like it. It could be construed as, oh, he didn't write enough, so he had to like throw in some filler. But honestly, like, it sounds cool, so you know, I can't fault it. Okay, maybe now he's overusing it. It's like the third time. If he's gonna do it after every single like stanza, then maybe it's like, that's a little overusing. He said that he is from Joko twice now. I gotta figure out what the fuck Joko is. Johnson County, Kansas? That's what comes up when I search it. Is Wisdom from Kansas? I don't know. Okay, before we get into the last dude, G. Irilla, you can't just come in my house, slap the shit out of me like that. Okay, if I'm gonna be totally fair as a critic, there were some moments where I thought, like, okay, the mixing made it difficult to hear certain inflections, his voice could have used some compression, or he could have just, like, delivered everything a little bit more, like, consistently. But that being said, for the most part, that was fucking dope. That was, like, just constant bars. There was no space. It was all flow. G.I. Rilla, man. Bitch. So it's a different beat. The transition between the two beats was like, it was sudden, but I guess it kind of made sense. But I wonder if this is like intentional. Like, was this just because he just rapped over a different beat and sent it to Kenshi, and Kenshi was like, ah, fuck it, sure. Or Wisdom. Bitch. Oh god. So this is Exodus. He's got a decent flow. His delivery is sounding kind of weird to me, like, bitch. You know, it's. I don't think I'm a fan, but you know, like I said, he's got a good flow. Hey, yeah. Yeah, he sounds like he's just saying, if you're going to, like, spit, you know, with that speed and, like, you know, that constant flow, you have to still enunciate every syllable all the way. Otherwise, it's not impressive. Because anybody can go, if you want to actually impress us with your fast rapping, you gotta enunciate everything. Humble brag, but I've hit that speed before. Barry, put up my feature verse on the song Fade That with Dead Serious.
A minute, I'll give it more than you give in a year. That's why after half a decade I am still here, bringing the kill in the infinite syllables like a dirigible. I'm about to blow. All the humanity is insanity. Spite of the gravity, I stay afloat. Let it go.
Yeah, so like you can hit that speed if you want, but you gotta really enunciate every syllable. Not to brag, but like I can do that. That's not even a brag. It's like I can do that. So you're not matching the low level bar. I am the low level bar. Okay, yeah. So thoughts on that track. G.I. Rilla obviously stole the show. Kenshi worked on it, you know, like Kenshi had, you know, the whole like the sampling thing that was kind of interesting, and his flow was decent. And then Exodus came on, and it was like a totally different beat. It matched the vibe, you know, it still had that kind of like, ooh, Scooby-Doo spooky thing. But, you know, then he just kind of did some really underwhelming chopper shit, and, you know, This next song produced by Cody. I fucking love Cody. If Cody ever sees this, he probably won't, but if you ever see this, Cody, I love you, I want to have your babies, and also, can you produce my mixtape? But, you know, if you don't want to do that, that's cool, too. I still love you.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
It's a Cody beat. This is like the fucking... Perfect. I think the vocals are out of step with the beat. Like, he recorded them on beat, but then when he put them onto the beat, they're like shifted over, like, you know, not even a full second, but you can tell that it's like not the syllables that should be landing on the beat are landing slightly after the beat. Now, obviously, we gotta adjust the elephant in the room, his delivery. You know, props for him for doing something different, for, you know, exploring the limits of his vocals. I think there's something here. I think if he, like, worked on this and, like, learned to control his voice a little bit better, this would be, like, a really interesting delivery. It would make a nice, like, you know, switch up on the album. But as is, I think, you know, it's a little grating. And I think you can tell that he's straining with doing that voice and also rapping on beat. So,
Just put the hell 7 days, they damn week. Bring my hit that rap name. Goddamn, king sheep, cause I don't do drugs or don't do fake, and I cannot get no pussy, yeah.
So it starts out like, everybody hates me because I don't do drugs and all this stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, he's bucking rapper trends, and I can't get no pussy. I'm like, do you want to be, like, bragging about that? It's like, yeah, I'm outside of this rap shit. I never get laid. To each their own, you know? Ah, oh, fuck this Cody instrumental. Ah. That fucking rumbling bass. And those hi-hats. Ah. Picked a good-ass beat for this. So far, all the beats on this have been really good. I'd say that's something that I can compliment this project on. Like, most of them fit the vibe of this album. That beat was like a little bit less spooky. It didn't go as into the like Halloween vibe, but like it still was dark because, you know, it's a Cody beat. He likes to do dark shit. And, you know, since it's a different sounding track, he had a different sounding delivery, so I guess there was like some intent there, you know. It was fine.
Yes, you stop. Yes, stop. This show, baby.
Again with the reverse vocals, man. Is this cursed? Should I be watching this? I feel like I'm cursed now.
People love niggas being fake. Then they wanna sound like wanna be Kevin Gates. Talking that bullshit I can't take. Rapping about it's too late. Now lose the first on my soul to take. Then I motherfucking damn masturbate. She want.
I said it before, if you're gonna have like a line that really, you know, you don't want to have a line that really stands out like that if your focus is not on the lyrics. Motherfucking damn masturbate. I'm also noticing that, like, he was really on with the flow at the beginning of this album, and now it's kind of decreasing a little bit. You can tell that there is a rhythm there that he's trying to get, but it's like, it's just slightly, he's just slightly missing his marks. He's using like a similar delivery to the last track, where it's like going into the higher register of his voice and getting a little bit scratchier, and I think it sounds better on this one. The other one, it sounded strained, kind of gross. Now it kind of works. The problem is the flow.
Want her damn pussy. Get on the mic and just say I'm here. And then go ghost mode, then disappear.
That was a really short verse. But also, like, I couldn't tell at first if he was doing something offbeat in an intentional way. But whether it was intentional or intentional, that was a really interesting rhythm. Or something like that. Let me go back.
On the mic and just say I'm here. And then go ghost mode, then disappear.
That was interesting. I like it.
Better gather up the masses. I'm going back to school high like I'm failing all the classes. And I'm off the fucking rail. Last week when I was locked in the prison cell. But fuck.
So this is Gara Sinatra on the feature. Okay, I'm not gonna shit on him for the recording quality. Obviously, we don't all have access to professional studios. That was a joke, because I'm not professional. I'm not gonna shit on him for his recording quality, but what I will shit on him for is, like, I'm not really sure where the flow is. He doesn't sound offbeat because he has a really consistent cadence, but rhymes aren't landing where they should in the beat, and it's like...
This is a simple story of a victim with a bombshell, or maybe it's about a baby with no mom who fell in the bottom of a wishing well, I wish him well.
Yeah, his delivery is pretty great. He's really got that, rapper delivery down. His delivery, fine. His flow, needs to work on it. He needs to just practice to a metronome.
Fuck it, end of discussion. I'm sick of fucking cussing.
I'm sick of fucking cussing. Lyrically, I'm not really sure what the fuck this is even about. He said it might be about a mom who fell in a wishing well. Or it might be about him in a prison cell. Which is it, Gara Sinatra? When will we finally learn the truth?
So maybe I should fucking cut it. I'm fucking different. Fucking different. Nuts.
But there haven't been that many features. There's been G.I. Rilla and Exodus and Gara Sinatra. But so far, G.I. Rilla was like the first one and the only one really to like impress me. Like Exodus, like I said, had problems with his delivery, and Gara, I really needed to work on his flow, and I'm not really sure what his lyrics were, what he was doing. But I'm not gonna knock an album for like mediocre features. I mean, I will, but not as much as I would for mediocre everything else. So this next thing is now, I just want to see something real quick. Wasn't American Hypocrisy on... He's deleted the playlist to the original album. But I'm pretty sure that was on the original album.
That his flow was pretty...
Yeah, I'm watching my review, and American Hypocrisy was on the old album. So he deleted the playlist for the album Unwanted, made a playlist for his new album Nightmare on Main Street, but put the old song American Hypocrisy, yeah, he just put it on the new album. Look, wisdom, Kenshi. If you're gonna make a new album, you gotta make new songs. I remember liking this song, so, and I'll listen to it again, but, like, this kind of, that's, like, breaking some rules,
I'm gonna jump right into it. Let's go. Everybody, yeah.
It's such a short song, but it really is sold by the features just being like, I can't rap, and then, going on and flowing, honestly, better than Kenshi, and it's like, oh, wow, okay, that's kind of funny. It's simple. It's the simple things in life, really. There's a lot of trap beats on this album. I like it. I like trap beats. I make mostly trap beats. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting. It makes American Hypocrisy stand out so much more because it's like, oh, this is a boom bap beat. Doesn't really fit on this album, you know?
Every time I sleep, I have day or nightmare. When I wake up, I believe big. Who the fuck would do the hook? I would do the hook. No, I would do the hook. No, I would do the hook. Motherfucker, I would do the hook. No, me. Motherfucker, shut the fuck up with that shit. Fuck, do the fucking hook. God damn.
Okay, so there was obviously like two voices. One is like, I'll do the hook. No, I'll do the hook. But they both sounded the same. There was nothing to differentiate them. So it sounded like he was just going, I'll do the hook. No, I'll do the hook. No, I'll do the hook. What you could have done, taken one set and panned them to the right, and one set and panned them to the left. And then it's like, oh, they're like on either side of me arguing. But instead it just sounds... The point gets across, but it doesn't sound good. Or it could have pitched one up and pitched one down. Just production thoughts.
I'm the ordinary, never be married. Vote Mayberry, bitch I'm damn scary. Bitch I'm damn scary.
He is scary, I'll give him that. That's accurate. The whole thing is like, I'll never be married. Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Bitch I'm damn scary.
And again, his delivery works for this.
Fuck you, bitch. You ain't do fucking. What's the last time you do a fuck this? No, I think I do a lot.
That was a weird skit. I'm not even really sure what he said, but... I don't know, that whole like, oh shit, we were recording? I don't know, it's kind of cheesy, kind of corny. Good beat. This is a 3-minute song. There's one verse and one hook, and 2 skits. I don't like it. I'm just gonna come straight out and say I don't like it. If you're gonna make a 3-minute song, you gotta have 3 minutes worth of material. That was like a minute's worth of material. And if you're gonna have a hook, you gotta obviously the hook repeats within itself, but if you really want to have a hook stick in people's minds, you gotta do multiple iterations of the hook. So if you've only got one verse, do hook, verse, hook. The Gucci Gang formula. As it is, it's verse, skit, hook, skit, and the hook is like the hook. It's catchy because there's a lot of repetition in the hook. It kind of just sounds like another verse because the skits happen more often than the hook. His flow was decent on that. I'll say that. There was a really catchy cadence in the hook, and I think in the verses too. Although I don't really in the one verse, I can't really recall anything from the verse. Which maybe is a bad sign, since I just listened to the song. That's like, I can't remember the verse. But it's because there was all that space after the verse. But I don't remember him being offbeat, so I think that was decent.
Everybody bow down and work.
Oh, I forgot this is the song I'm It keeps happening. I keep reviewing albums that I have a thing on. So this is Stay Weird. I'm proud of this verse. I thought that my verse sounded good on this.
Everybody bow down and worship. God of hellfire, leave you burning for certain. Only stay in distance, no matter how strange or deranged we get. We gon' show these motherfuckers we still best of the best. Yeah.
So, fun fact, when I recorded it, it starts off with...
Everybody bow.
It starts a little late. It should be... Everybody bow down and worship. God of hellfire, leave you burning for certain. But it's the way it is everybody bow down and worship. Like it starts a beat late. So it still kind of works, but there's some moments where because it's shifted, it doesn't sound good. What I'm saying is, if you don't like my verse, I swear it's not my fault. No, if you don't like my verse, then you know, it's probably me. It's probably because I suck.
Motherfuckers, we still best of the best. Yeah.
Maybe I'll, like, just take this beat and release my verse as I intended it, just as a standalone song. It'll only be a minute long, if that, but, you know, some people listen to it. Leave a comment if you want to listen to my verse for Stay Weird as I recorded it.
Stay weird, stay weird. Grab the niggas by his beard. What the fuck? Are you supposed to do something, you piece of shit? Hello? Rap? Oh shit. Oh, yeah, that's fuck. Okay. Hell with it. Fuck no. I'm not going 3, 2, 1, bitch. Go get it. I mean, wicked day, call me day. Fucking weird. Though you do the bar. You were so weak in the drawer. Put your body in the bar. Now I make it tough to draw. I'm not doing the hook. Peace. Shit. Y'all can't suck my. Wait a minute. Oh fuck! Why that fuck I did?
Again, it's another song that's mostly skits.
Bitch. No hook, bitch. No hook. No.
Again with the skits. So he went, my verse, he did do a hook. The saying no hook, but there was a hook. That was what came after my verse. And then he had a short skit, and then his verse, and now he's doing another skit, and now the song is 3.25 minutes long.
July 27th, 2018.
July 27th. How late am I? If I wait to release this on October 27th, then that means this video will officially be like 3 months late. But I'm not going to, so it's not quite 3 months.
They told them back to test. Put MC back to rest. Rest from rappers, couple of them. Make that great good. Have you like to know what's up? This stone will break your motherfucking damn bone.
I was like, oh, he's not rapping here, so I can pause it. But then he comes in with the sticks and stones break motherfucking damn bones. I like this beat. I'm not sure how it fits with the rest of the album, though. Like, this is a, like, Ski Mask the Slump God type beat. This is I swear, is that sample from, like, fucking Totally Spies or some shit? That's not it. I'm going off on a tangent trying to find this beat. But I want to find it because I like it. Yeah, some, like, Kids Next Door type sample or some shit. I like it, but again, it doesn't really fit with the rest of the album. I mean, there was that one, like, kind of Scooby-Doo kind of thing, but, like, it... I don't know.
Yeah. I survived on my motherfucking damn moan. Yeah. All these MCs, oh motherfucking damn song. Why the fuck you fit? What the fuck? Well, so what? No shit. Wait, I thought we done with it. No, you about to turn 19, bro. You about to turn fucking 19.
Is the rest of this track just skit with no beat?
Crazy brother, Jason, stop stuttering, bitch. Stop stuttering. Stop stuttering. Stop thinking
Yeah, the rest of that track was literally just skits with no beat. Oh my god. Look, it's my job as a critic to be honest, and I'm gonna be honest. This album started off pretty decent, like it was an improvement over the original. But as it went on, you had the track, like the... you had American Hypocrisy added back onto the track list, even though it's a track from the previous album. And then you've got these 3 songs in a row with nothing but skits. Like, the songs are half skit. If you're gonna do songs with skits and have this be like a concept album, space those out through the album. But this is 3 in a row. Now we're on the last track of the album. Ill by Wisdom featuring G.I. Rilla. Wait a fucking goddamn minute. This was released August 12th? I thought this album was supposed to be out in July. Did you add this track retroactively?
I came here to motherfucking kill. I stay crazy and motherfucking ill.
I know what the sample is from. Fuck. Yeah. Is that Billy and Mandy? Here I go again, looking up beats. It's not Billy and Mandy. I fucking know where that sample's from. Some cartoon. Okay, so first you had, What the Hell, which definitely sounded like a Ski Mask type beat. Now you got this, which is definitely sampling from a cartoon. It seems like the aesthetic of this album has totally changed in the last half.
This is not a motherfucking goddamn drill. Does anybody got the goddamn skill? On the daily, because I'm fucking crazy.
I like that fuck the army and the navy line. That's funny.
Holy shit, all the words I spit, I'm getting fucking sick. Nasty like my Vic, nasty like a fucking dick. Ugly as hell like fucking brick. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I am. My mentality gon' keep it so real. No face in my circle, you better shake that grill. I got my own head twisted up, even if I earn $1 million. Be wicked, earned by each of the following anecdotes. I keep the fritz on the maximum and continue the story of boogeymen where you die off irrelevant. And followers only asking what a jewelry. They don't care about you with your modern trends. You just lost time, get a consequence. Or what MacGyver with the bobby pin. If it's stupidity for brain, then hip hop suck. These rap kids don't lost their touch. That's why I'm a kill.
Is that the end of the song? Wow, what an outro to an album. Just da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Stop. Alright, let's do a damage report, shall we? I was really thinking like, oh, okay, so this is going to be a definite improvement from the last album. Not as much problems with the mixing, his flow is more consistent, and it had like a consistent aesthetic and stuff. And the album had like an intro that was like a distinct intro. But then he got away from that aesthetic in the last half. He had a bunch of tracks that were mostly skits that felt like just padding. And the outro track did not feel like an outro track. It felt like a track that should be smack dab in the middle because it just ends abruptly and feels like it should go into something, but it doesn't. I can't honestly say that this is an improvement from the original. If it was just the first 5 tracks, I would say, yeah, this is an improvement on the original. But right now, no. I might even have to say this is like worse than the original because it's like there's a reused track. There's all these, you know, skits that pad out the album. What did I give the original? I don't even remember what my score was. I gave the original 2.5. I'm gonna have to give this like a 2. Just a straight 2 out of 10. I'm sorry, Wisdom. I don't mean to be so hard on you specifically. I don't mean to, like, just be picking on you, but, like, you see where I'm coming from, right? When you're making an album, you gotta take these things into account. You know, okay, I gave you tips on, like, your flow and your mixing and stuff like that in the first video, and you took those into account, but at the expense of making an actual full album and making songs that were good. Like, the flows on those tracks that were mostly skits, your flows were fine, you had some sticky hooks, but because it was mostly just padding, it still didn't make for a good song. And when you have a bunch of those in a row, that doesn't make for a good album. I'm sorry, man, I hate to be so negative, but that was... it just wasn't good. I'm sorry to bring down the mood. But that's how I feel. So thanks for watching. Subscribe. I still heavily recommend that you should click the link in the description to listen to this album yourself. Give your own thoughts on it. Subscribe to Wisdom, you know, because the only way he's going to improve as an artist is if people keep supporting him and keep getting him to make more art. The only way you get better at making art is making more art. And to do that, you got to have people supporting you. So please, support him and support me, you know. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, tell me what you thought of this video. And that's basically it. Peace.